We're back here on seg2 TV. I am your host, B. You want more information about us? Please feel free to log on to www.seg2tv.com. We're here with Chef Lemaire. Let's talk about your name.
Yes.
What's your name means?
Well, verbatim, the mayor.
The mayor. The mayor in the kitchen.
Yes.
Holding it down. And I know that there's some foods that are very nostalgic, and there's history behind, some dishes and the way you move in the kitchen. And I know you pay homage to certain people.
Yes.
And I would like to send my condolences on behalf of seg2 TV for, your loss. And we'll keep you lifted in prayer. Tell us a little bit about that rich history that you have going on.
So, like I said earlier, how I really got drawn into in the kitchen is because I was paying attention to these women in my life, my mom and my grandma. My grandma on my dad's side, my grandma on my mom's side, they passed away before I was born, so I didn't get a chance to know them. But I can vividly remember that certain dishes and certain periods where it would hit me, right? Like still today, I can just sit there and just remember walking into my grandma's house and the smell of the food was just coming straight from inside all the way to the streets, right? And you could smell it, and you could know that grandma was cooking at the time, right? Or my mom, she used to do those special dishes that we would just enjoy. And these memories kept me going on throughout my career, and I wanted to make sure that I use these dishes, these things that made me who I am today, as things that I want to make sure that I share with not only the Haitian community, but with the world itself.
Absolutely, because unfortunately, I know in South Florida, I grew up in Miami, Florida. I grew up Haitian, strictly Haitian, like we couldn't speak English in the house. But in school, of course, it's a different world. We spoke English. And oh my gosh, I grew up, I'm gonna age myself, I don't care, I'm an 80s baby.
Okay.
And we grew up with the stigma of Haitians eat cat.
Yes.
And I'm like, mes amis, if you guys only knew the dishes, and it's funny how things come full circle.
Yes.
Like 180, where you see your peers, like peers that I grew up with, now asking me, B, let me get some legume. I'm like, wow, not the legume you guys were talking about.
Right.
Let me get some sauce pois. They have the accent.
Yeah.
The sauce
that Diricolé.
Listen, Diricolé, yes. And I'm like, wow, we've came such a long way.
Yes.
And it's from people like you who are like not ashamed and afraid to share the culture. So I love the way you're doing it for the culture, and you are doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
Your pictures, I don't know who you have on your team taking those pictures, but they need a little raise because you can, like, the food is speaking to you through the picture, the image. You can almost smell the food, and it's just a still image. So yeah, let's talk about debunking myths.
Yes.
Debunking myths. Like, there's some history that I learned, like, from my mom when, like, my mom and dad, they're from Gonaïve.
Okay.
So we know about chaka amayi. Yes.
Like
chaka amayi, and I was like, when I was growing up, looking at chaka amayi, I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks pretty. It's a lot to deal with. You got the corn, you got the beans, it's like a lot. And then my mom would sit down and tell me the history. No, the reason why back in the days, this is what was left over, so we put it all in the pot.
Together. Yeah, that's why they call it chaka.
Chaka, right?
Yes.
And then what's another one? Like fei lalo. I know it's only in certain areas.
Yeah, jute leaves.
Yes, jute leaves, or you can get it. And
like there are certain regions that are very more proficient in doing it. Right. Like in Latibonite, Semak, right? So and the thing about our food is that a lot of our food is one-pot dishes. Right. A lot of the meats that we used and we still use now traditionally is because we used to get the tough cuts, right? Or the less desired cuts of meats, right? So the same master wouldn't use it, so that's why we had to use, and we figured out how to make this super delicious.
Listen,
right?
Very
like
resourceful.
You're looking at pork meat, right? We used to get the shoulder part, and that's what we still use now, but it's fatty, but it's also very tough.
Right.
So you have to break it down, and the way to break it down is like what we do. We braise it, and then we deep fry it. Listen, whoever decided to do this, chapeau, because
Seriously.
Griot is one of the
Yes.
greatest invented dishes.
Listen, I missed it a lot. I missed it.
Yeah, I've heard.
Listen, we have more in store for you guys. Go get a snack because by the time we're done with this, your stomach will probably touch your back. We'll be back in just a few. We're here at seg2 with Chef Lemaire.